Is how to answer the question, why do you want to become a genetic counselor?
Welcome to Genetic Counseling Awareness Channel with Katie Lee. All the best resources you'll ever need at Genetic Counseling Awareness Channel.
Good morning, you guys. It's me, Katie Lee, CGC, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to record one last topic about genetic counseling interviews this year. I know some of you are still out interviewing, so hopefully this might come in time if you haven't nailed the answer to this specific question yet. And then I also wanted to let you know that next week, Wednesday, the first Wednesday in April, I'm planning to release a video on ranking, on how to rank. What I did is I interviewed a few current students who ranked just a year ago, and I got their feedback on what system they used to rank their list for match day and how it went for them. So if you're not feeling super confident about ranking, or you just want to hear someone else's experience about how they ranked, to give yourself some confidence and to get that list submitted, you can check it out next Wednesday. So let's get to the current topic, which is how to answer the question, why do you want to become a genetic counselor? This is a question that if you're hoping to get into a program for 2021 admission, you've probably answered dozens and dozens of times in personal statements and again in many interviews. And what I want to say for those of you who maybe are thinking about applying next time is to start realizing that all of the interviewers you speak to, they're speaking to dozens and reading dozens of personal statements from people that like genetic counseling, for the same general reasons that you probably like genetic counseling. So you absolutely cannot give the answer that I want to be a genetic counselor because I really like science and I was fascinated by genetics, it's so cool, and I also wanted to be in the helping career and also like the idea of being able to interact with patients, interact with people regularly. That answer is so tired, it's so boring, it's so non-specific. I think the vast majority of people who want to become a genetic counselor like science or genetics, duh, and they also want human interaction. Now things are changing and not all genetic counselors interact with patients regularly or interact with clinicians regularly. So that does not have to be the case that that's your why, but I've just heard that answer so many times, and I don't even participate in interviewing students for any program. When I'm talking to somebody who has asked me to do an informational interview or helping somebody prepare their essay or practice interviewing, that answer comes up all the time and you should not use it. You need something more specific. You do not want to bore your interviewers on the first question. So you need to dig way deeper for your why. It's great if you like genetics, but what do you like about genetics? Why do you like genetics? And it's great if you want to help people. That's a great reason to become a genetic counselor. But who specifically do you want to help? Why do you want to help them? How do you want to help them? Okay, I wish I could remember exactly what I said for my answer to this question, but I tried to recreate what I think I would have said as much as possible, and I do remember some of the specific points that I wove into my answer. Still, you want to keep it short. I mean, this isn't rocket science. This isn't a hard question. If someone asked me in 2012, 2013, when I was interviewing and applying why I wanted to be a genetic counselor, this is what I would say. Growing up, I always loved babysitting and nannying, and I still do. One of the reasons I enjoy nannying so much is because I adore being around children, and I understand that genetic counseling could give me an opportunity to work with children and their families. The second reason I love nannying so much is because it gives me an opportunity to see into a household that's different from mine and to observe how the parents interact with each other, how they run their household, and how they parent. For a long time, I thought I would become a marriage and family therapist because it fit with my personal interests and my communication abilities. But during college, I took a neuroscience course and I was fascinated by that topic, led to an epigenetics course, which was even more fascinating to me. The undergraduate neuroscience club I was in at UW-Madison was looking for volunteers to socialize with patients at the UW Hospital locked psychiatric ward. And that sounded fascinating to me because I have always loved reading memoirs about people with psychiatric diagnoses, which has really fueled my interest in learning more about them. So during that experience, I got to interact with people, with bipolar disorder, with eating disorders, with schizophrenia, with major depression, and so forth. So many patients wondered, why me? Will my kids get this? What did I do to cause this? What causes this mental illness? and they just weren't getting the answer despite so many specialists being involved in their care and their treatment. It wasn't something that was readily discussed. Simultaneously, I was exploring the field of genetic counseling and seeing if it might be a good career fit for me. And I came to understand that genetic counselors' role is often to support patients and their families in understanding the scientific explanation for why a diagnosis, why a disease happened to them or happened to a family member. And I thought that this would be the perfect fit for me. I am especially interested in either working with children with genetic diagnoses or expanding the psychiatric genetic counseling field. I understand it's really small, but I think there's massive space for it to grow. All right, I hope that advice helped. And again, remember to tune in next Wednesday when I'll be talking to some current students about how they ranked for match day. And you can get their advice and feedback as you are building your match list. Bye, guys.